And every year, I think the moderators enjoy it more than the kids. I'm Corey Martin. My kids went to Trinity years ago. I've been a litigator for almost 30 years. Before we start, I want to thank Judge Chronicle. She's been a huge supporter, serving both as a mentor and opening her courtroom to us and her services. So thank you. If my fellow moderators could introduce themselves.
Yep. My name's Keith Holleran. I've got 2 daughters actually this year, Ella and Sarah Maddie, and my older daughter, Elizabeth, did it a few years ago. I've practiced law for about 9 years, and for the last 20 years, I've been using my law degree doing something different than law. But we, like Mrs. Martin said, I think we enjoy this more than the kids. So we're real happy to put this on for you guys.
My name is Joe Romagli. I'm a private practitioner here in Bucks County in a small firm. I have 3 kids at Holy Trinity. This is my first year helping to moderate. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to see what the kids have put together.
I'm Joe Pargola. I have a recent graduate from Holy Trinity, and I have a son in the 5th grade. And it's been a fun 10 years doing this.
Okay, so I am Judge Chronicle. I've been a judge here for about 6 years. My daughter went through Holy Trinity and she graduated in 2024, and I'm excited to see how you guys do. Good luck.
All right, I won't talk anymore because I know you guys are eager to start. I do want to say thank you, 6th graders, for joining the jury. We hope to see you in these chairs next year. Without further ado, I will turn it over to Judge Chronicle.
All right, I'm just going to go put on my robe. I'll be right back out.
Who's doing the opening? Okay. Put it on your sweater.
Right, just right here. Wait, where? You put it on here. But then when our first attorney goes up to cross-examine, you say, who am I giving it to? Guys, who goes first? Who's the first witness? Then who's doing Freddie then?
All right.
Oh.
You can all have a seat. Thank you very much. Okay, my name is Freddie Chronicle of the New Jersey Superior Court. You have been brought here to act as the jury in this case. I realize jury service may be new to you, so I will give you some instructions. You are the judges of the facts. You will listen to the witnesses, and at the end of the case, you will determine what facts have been proven or not proven. I am the judge of the law. In addition to regulating the trial, at the end of the case, I will tell you what the law is. You must accept the law as I tell it to you, whether you agree with the law or not. You are being asked to apply law to the facts as you find them to be in order to reach your verdict. That is your job as jurors. The burden of proof is on the plaintiff to prove the claim by preponderance of the evidence. That means that the evidence supporting the claim must weigh heavier and be more persuasive in your minds than the contrary evidence. In other words, the plaintiff's evidence must be a little more convincing than the defendant's evidence. If you find that the evidence is equally balanced, then plaintiff is not entitled to your favorable decision. Now, everybody in the jury box, please stand. Raise your right hand. State your name after the word I and repeat. I, state your name. Do solemnly promise.
Do solemnly promise.
That I will listen to the evidence.
That I will listen to the evidence.
Of the case.
Of the case.
With an open mind.
With an open mind.
Without prejudice.
Without prejudice.
And favoritism.
And favoritism.
And apply the law.
And apply the law.
As it is given.
As it is given.
By the judge.
By the judge.
In reaching.
In reaching.
A fair.
A fair.
And just.
And just.
Verdict.
Verdict.
Please be seated. I will now introduce the attorneys, and they will explain their positions and what they think the evidence will show. Remember that what the attorneys say in the opening statements or in their closing statements is not evidence. The evidence on which you must decide this case will come from the testimony of the parties and the witnesses only. So plaintiff's attorney, please give your opening statement.
Let's see. This case is about the First Amendment. This case is about the right to freedom of speech and expression. On the day of the celebration, to thank the veterans for serving in war, my client, Georgina Hanshee, wore a shirt that read, "Stop killing innocent people for oil." On the day of the incident, the school was hosting a celebration for the veterans in which town? The school happens to be next to a base, so many students have relatives in the military. Georgina thought it was a suitable day to wear a shirt that recognized that they were killing innocent people. Georgina knows that the others in the school openly talk about political unrest in other countries, so she wanted to promote her own opinion on the matter. She wore ripped jeans with army fatigue, which was said to be a violation to the dress code. Georgina's shirt said, "Stop killing innocent people for oil." The dress code states that a student cannot wear clothes that depict or reference war. The shirt does not reference or promote war. Instead, the shirt promotes peace. Even so, kids in her class made threatening remarks towards her. Georgina was suspended for 10 days, but she refused to change, while the student who prompted with her with violence was only suspended for 2. It is a human right that the school has gone against. They suppressed Georgina from sharing her beliefs. During this trial, you will hear testimony about what she wore and what kind of flyers were handed out. I ask you, please, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, come down on the side of free speech. Find in favor of Georgina Hanshee, overturn her suspension, and send her back where she belongs.
Defendant's attorney, please give your opening statement.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'd like to imagine you were a student in 8th grade attending Fort George Middle School on November 11th. Your family is a part of the 40% of families that have a child or parent in the Army. When you walk into school, the first thing you see is your classmate, Georgina Hanshee, in army fatigue pants and a t-shirt that read, "Stop killing innocent people for oil." She wore this getup that could be taken offensively on a day she knew would be televised, as recorded in her statement. This made me wonder what kind of reaction she was expecting from her fellow classmates. Excitement? Happiness? Obviously not. She knew people would disagree with her and that they would be upset, and a witness even stated it looked like she was relishing in the chaos. Under the Tinker case, the school needs to show significant evidence of a disruption. Today, you're going to hear such evidence that shows Georgina Hanshee actively disturbed the school day and caused others to act out of character against her, creating a tension in the classroom that could have led to escalated violence.
Okay, plaintiff, you may call your first witness. Is that Ms. Hanshee?
I guess you're, oh, okay, sorry. Yes, Your Honor, I call Frank Wright.
Frank Wright. I'm going to get into that witness box. Okay, so before you have a seat, Ms. Hanshee, you raise your right hand. You swear any testimony you're about to give is the full truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Okay, please have a seat. Please keep your voice up.
What is your name?
Hello, my name is Frank Wright.
What is your relationship with Georgina Hanshee?
I'm her social study teacher at Fort George Middle School.
Did she participate in the event in any way? Did she participate in the event in any way?
Yes, she was handing out flyers about a protest against the war out of school.
Do you remember what happened on November 11th?
There was a student named Georgina Hanshee who was wearing a t-shirt which said, "Stop killing innocent people for oil," and a pair of army fatigue pants. Her shirt was making a lot of students upset.
Did she get any punishment?
Yes, she did. She had a 10-day suspension.
Do you think she deserved the punishment that she got?
No, I don't think she deserved it. It's not right for her to get a 10-day suspension for doing something that goes along with her First Amendment rights.
Did anyone comment or ask about what she was handing out or wearing?
Some students were upset about it, but some other students were getting really mad and were starting to threaten her.
What were those students saying?
There were two things that were most interesting. The first one was a student that said she would rip off her shirt. And the second said that she was going to punch her in the face.
Who were those students that were making those threats?
The students were Jebbie Williams and Caroline Parker, two of the school's most troublemakers.
That's all, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor.
Is it true that Georgina gave you a flyer about staging a protest?
Yes.
Did you or did you not see Jeb Williams and Caroline Parker appear to threaten Georgina?
No.
Did you tell Georgina that she should reconsider whether she wanted to keep wearing the shirt as well as handing out flyers?
Yes, because I thought she would get suspended. I was trying to help her not get suspended.
Several students approached you about being upset by the t-shirt. Is that true?
Yes.
Is it true that you've seen none of these students appear to actually harm Georgina?
No, but threats can lead to actions.
Did you or did you not approach Georgina around the situation prior to your social studies class?
Yes, I did, because I was telling her that she should change so she doesn't get in trouble.
Is it true that Georgina refused to listen to you when you confronted her about the shirt and flyers?
Yes, because it's her First Amendment rights about what she can and can't do and say.
While you were teaching, did you or did you not hear words like traitor and terrorist during your class?
I did not.
Did you see that an argument broke out?
I did.
Even though people went to surround Georgina's desk, you didn't do anything.
I did do something. I completely told everyone to get back to class.
Even though you heard numerous disruptions in your class and heard words like terrorist and traitor, Georgina refused to replace the shirt when you asked if she could reconsider.
Because it's her First Amendment rights.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Plaintiff, do you have any redirect for Mr. Wright? No, Your Honor. Okay, Mr. Wright, you can step down. Thank you. Would you like to call your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
We need your microphone.
I call Freddie Murphy.
Freddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, you want to come on up? Before you have a seat, I am going to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you're about to give is the full truth, so help you God? Yes. Okay, please have a seat. Please keep your voice up, both of you.
Please state your name and school for the record.
My name is Freddie Murphy, and I'm in 8th grade at Fort George Middle School.
Do you know Georgina?
Yes, she is my best friend.
How do you know Georgina?
I've known her since 5th grade, and something I know about her is that she's very brave and stands up for what she believes in without fear.
What was Georgina doing on November 11th, 2022?
She came into school wearing a t-shirt that said "Stop killing innocent people for oil" and Army fatigue pants. She was also handing out flyers for some peace rally.
How did people react to this?
When people took the flyers, many of them tore them up and threw them in the trash. But even though it was a sign of disrespect, she didn't care, and she said that she planned to make more.
What things did people say to Georgina?
Some people in social studies class came up to her desk and threatened her when Jebbie Williams said that he would punch her in the face, that he would rip off her shirt, and Caroline Parker said that she would punch her in the face.
Could you give some examples?
Jebbie Williams said that he would rip off her shirt, and Caroline Parker said she would punch her in the face.
Why do you think that Georgina should not be suspended?
I believe that all people should be free to express their views in any manner they choose, because we all benefit from the free and open exchange of ideas.
Do you have anything to support this belief?
The Tinker vs. Desmond's case makes it clear by the Supreme Court that students are free to express their political beliefs as long as it doesn't interrupt with the learning environment.
Did Georgina do anything to disrupt the learning environment?
In my opinion, no. I don't think it was Georgina that disrupted the learning environment, but it was the students who paid attention to her and decided to pick on her. They don't have to agree with her views.
Is there any other information you have for the jury?
There have been some incidents outside of school, like the fight at the diner, but everything inside of school, like the burning of the flag and the graffiti on the walls, didn't involve any fighting.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any questions for Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor. Did you see Georgina on November 11th, 2022?
Yes.
Did you see her handing out flyers?
Yes.
Did you join the peace rally?
No.
Did you agree with Georgina?
Yes and no.
Is it true you watched Georgina get threatened?
Yes.
Do you think Georgina had a right to wear the shirt?
Yes, I do.
Do you know the school's dress code?
Yes.
Do you agree with the First Amendment?
Yes, definitely.
Do you know your school prohibits offensive ethnic remarks, violence, drugs, slurs, harassment, suicide, put-downs, and depict of reference war?
Yes.
Do you agree with these rules?
Yes, I do.
Now that you know these rules, do you still agree with her?
Yes, I do.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Plaintiff, do you have any redirect for Mr. Murphy? Let me just put the microphone on the table.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you think that this shirt violated the school dress code?
No, I do not.
No more questions.
All right, Mr. Murphy, you can step down. Thank you. Plaintiff, do you have any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I call Georgina Hanshee.
I ask you to raise your right hand. You swear any testimony you're about to give is the full truth, so help you God. Yes, ma'am. Okay, please have a seat. Please keep your voice up, both of you.
What is your name?
My name is Georgina Hanshee.
What school do you go to?
I go to Fort George Middle School.
What was the event on November 11th, 2022 at your school?
There was an assembly promoting America's continued efforts on the war.
What were you wearing on November 11th, 2022?
I wore a t-shirt that said "Stop killing innocent people for oil" with camo pants that were ripped.
Why were you wearing that?
I wanted to use the opportunity that not all people supported the war and could still express their own feelings.
Did you participate in this event in any way?
I was handing out flyers.
What kind of flyers were you handing out?
I was handing out flyers that were for a peace rally.
Have other students been handing out flyers just like that?
Yes, others have been handing out flyers about their religious beliefs, which is an opinion.
Do you think you disrupted the classroom in any way?
No, I don't think I bothered anyone.
Did anyone say anything to you about the situation?
One staff member did, Mr. Wright, but so did Jebbie Williams and Caroline Parker.
What did the two students say?
They threatened me.
What did Jebbie Williams say?
Jebbie said that she would rip off my shirt.
What did Caroline Parker say?
Caroline said that she would punch me, but I knew it wasn't true because she was just full of lies and gossip.
Did they get any punishment?
All I know is that they went to the principal's office, but I'm not sure if they got punished or not.
Did you get any punishment?
Yes. They suspended me for not taking off my t-shirt.
Why did you bring this lawsuit to the court?
I hope that my suspension gets removed and they let me go back to school.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it true that on November 11th, 2022, you wore a shirt that said, "Stop killing innocent people for oil"?
Yes.
Is it true you knew the school had planned a Veterans Day assembly after school?
Yes.
Did you know there would be TV and news reporters there?
Yes.
Is it true you handed out flyers for a peace rally?
Yes.
Is it true you read about other court cases about this situation?
Yes.
Did you think if you did the same thing, you'd be in trouble?
Yes, for standing up for what I believe.
Is it true you knew many students had family in the military?
Yes.
Did you believe other students would be upset with your shirt?
Yes.
Is it true some students threatened you?
Yes, a lot.
Is it true some students called you things like traitor and terrorist?
Yes.
Were many students distracted by your shirt?
Yes.
Is it true? Yes. Is it true your shirt interfered with school activities?
I wouldn't say so, but to the other students, I think they were a little offensed. But yeah.
Do you think everybody agreed with your opinion?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Plaintiff, do you have any redirect for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Do you think you disrupted the classroom or the school in any way?
No.
And then, did any student threaten you with physical harm?
Yes.
That's it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Hanshee, you can step down. Thank you. So you rest?
Yes.
All right, defendants, would you like to call your first witness?
Yes. I'd like to call Jebbie Williams to the stand.
Okay, Ms. Williams, before you have a seat, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you're about to give is the full truth to help you God? Yes. Please have a seat. Please keep your voice up, both of you.
Please state your name and your relationship with Georgina Hanshee.
My name is Jebbie Williams, and I'm a classmate with Georgina Hanshee.
What is your life at school like?
I'm an honor student, and I am a part of the wrestling team for the Bald Eagles team at Fort George Middle School.
What do you think about the school's annual Veterans Day Assembly?
I think the school's annual Veterans Day Assembly is very important for people to hear and recognize about what the women and men have done for our country. I personally knew 3 of the 7 soldiers from Fort George, the fort right next to our school, who lost their lives protecting and fighting for our country. I believe that all people should recognize that people do this with option and patriotism.
What usually happens at the Veterans Day Assembly?
On November 11th, Fort George Middle School schedules to have an annual Veterans Day Assembly. In our area, celebrating Veterans Day is a big deal for all families that have family members in the military. Many military leaders and politicians come to our school to give speeches, meet the students, teachers, and members of our proud community. We have a parade and barbecue for the entire town and community afterwards.
How did you, along with others, feel when you saw Georgina in her ripped up army fatigues and her t-shirt that stated "Stop killing innocent people for oil"?
I felt very upset and I couldn't think of what to do. I personally have never gotten along with Georgina due to her opinions politically. I was very upset due to my political views being strong, and I couldn't believe what she was protesting, especially because her brother fought for the opposite of what she was protesting.
What are your thoughts about what she was wearing that day?
On November 11th, when I first saw Georgina and read what her shirt said, I was furious. I couldn't believe what she was protesting, especially at our school on Veterans Day, and it being a very big assembly. This specific protest has come up multiple times in the past and was never dealt with in a civil matter. The way she protested came off very offensive. She had "Stop killing innocent people for oil" written right across her shirt, and army fatigue pants that can seem offensive due to the military uniform soldiers wear. She wore it to make people angry, not to bring people to the matter with open arms.
Would you say this made things tense within the classroom?
Yes, Georgina made the classroom feel very tense and uncomfortable. There was a lot of talk about politics and how she was a traitor to our country. There was also a bunch of talk of violence. Most people who made the threats, including myself, were very upset by her remarks against the war of the efforts our soldiers put into fighting for our country. As for myself, I knew 3 of the 7 soldiers that had died recently in Afghanistan. Georgina seemed to not care and almost enjoyed the threats she was receiving. This war cannot be talked about in a civil manner at this school due to different political views.
What do you think about the United States military?
I think highly of the United States military and believe that they do the best for our country. I myself want to enlist when I get older to help fight and defend for our country. Georgina does not respect the fact that it is the military that helps protect this great country of ours, and it is also the military that in the end will defend her right to speak her mind and believe what she believes.
Could you please tell us about what happened at the diner last year?
Last year, there was a fight at the local diner between students from our school over the merits of continuing to have active military presence in particular countries. The police were eventually called, but not before students were injured and damage was done to the establishment. After this event, tension brewed quickly, and students began to threaten each other and also graffiti the school building.
Would you say things were already tense in the classroom?
Yes, ever since the diner incident, things have been tense.
Can you elaborate on the concept you learned in social studies about the freedom of speech not being absolute?
In social studies class, we have learned that people have the right to speak their mind and believe what they want to an extent. We learned that you cannot stand up and yell fire in the middle of a packed movie theater when there's no fire. This is considered false speech. It is made to cause riot and can cause danger for others. Our freedom of speech and expression, assured by our United States Constitution, is simply not absolute.
Did you know that this day would be televised?
Yes, I knew this day was televised, and I also knew that newspaper reporters were there as well.
What are your feelings about the Tinker case?
I have learned much about the Tinker case from over the times in social studies. I have also self-taught myself about this case, as well as I am very knowledgeable of the incident. I think the Tinker case is and was a fair trial, but I don't think the case is related to what Georgina did. In plain sight, you can see that the two cases have things in common, but if you dive deeper into the two cases, you can see why her actions were different from Mary Beth and John Tinker's. For example, the Tinker case states that for the protests to not be just, it must disrupt classroom work, school discipline, or invade the rights of others. Georgina Hanshee did disrupt the classroom environment. Wright states, I had difficulty controlling the students and getting them to concentrate on what I was teaching. Throughout the statements, you can see that many of the students felt uncomfortable and enraged at the time. In the Tinker case, the court determined that the armbands the student wore to protest the war in Vietnam were a form of pure speech. Pure speech is a communication of opinions or information spoken or written before a voluntary audience. The protest of the Vietnam War was considered to be quiet, passive, and symbolic speech, protected by the First Amendment rather than disruption. For Georgina, her protest deviated from peaceful, focused on how to get people's attention with anger rather than with communication, gave rise to violence, was chaotic, disruptive, and had an ulterior motive, which was triggering and angering reactions and emotional distress to a sensitive topic.
Did Georgina ever retaliate or talk back to you or others?
Yes. After I threatened Georgina, she yelled, "War's murder, and this war is killing innocent people for control and leverage over oil, and says nothing else, you pig." She also said that she could say whatever she wanted, when she wanted, where she wanted, and if I didn't like it, I could, and I quote, leave the country, which her statement isn't true, as I previously mentioned about false speech.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Did you threaten to rip Georgina's shirt?
Yes, I did.
Did she do anything to harm you back? Did Georgina do or say anything in defense?
After I threatened her, she said war's murder, and this war over oil.
Did you mean what you said to her? Have you had similar behavior before?
No.
Do you know do you know that she has the rights of the First Amendment?
Yes.
You respect those rights?
Yes.
Did you know that what you did was offensive?
Yes.
Did you know that there would be consequences?
Yes.
No further questions.
Could you restate why you threatened Georgina that day?
I threatened her out of confusion and outrage.
Is it normal for you to act like that at school?
No, I'm usually very calm and keep to myself.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Lee, you can sit down. Let's call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. I call Waldo Harper.
Okay, Mr. Harper, before you have a seat, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you're about to give is the full truth, so help you God? Please have a seat. Please keep your voice up, both of you.
Please state your name and what is your relation to Georgina Hanshee?
My name is Waldo Harper, and I'm the principal for Fort George Middle School.
What did you observe on November 11, 2022?
I saw Georgina wearing a shirt that said, stop killing innocent people for oil, wearing army pants, jean pants, and she was handing out flyers, and people were really getting upset with her.
Is it permitted by the school to pass out flyers?
No, you're not permitted to be passing out flyers that have war terms or any offensive things that relate to war.
Do you think the school code is limiting freedom of speech, and what does the school code state?
I do think that the school code limits people from freedom of speech, but in my opinion, you shouldn't even be bringing up those topics in school anyways. The school code states that you can't wear anything that is related to Army or hand out anything.
How did other students react to this debacle?
Most of the students took offense to what Georgina was doing on November 11th.
How did they take offense to it?
The students had people in their family that fought and or died in the war, and they were still sad about what happened. So they got angry at Georgina when she brought up the Army stuff and the t-shirt she was wearing.
How did they express their feelings about Georgina?
The students were really mad at her for what she was saying and wearing. Caroline Parker, one of the students in Georgina's class, told Mr. Wright, the teacher at the time, that Georgina was being offensive with her shirt and what she was saying. Caroline also threatened to punch her. Georgina and Jebbie Williams also threatened to rip her shirt off.
Was Georgina violating the dress code?
Yes, Georgina was violating the dress code. She wore a shirt that said stop killing people with oil and wore ripped Army camo jean pants.
Was there ever anything that was like this in the past?
Yes, there was a fight at the local diner about the same problem that had to do with war. The diner was messed up and a lot of people got hurt in the process.
No further questions.
Any questions?
It's reasonable to say that Georgina Hanshee did not break the rules. The rules state that you cannot hand out pamphlets or flyers that depict or reference war. But Georgina was handing out peace rally flyers and peace rally pamphlets.
Oh, yes, she was.
The rules say that you cannot wear shirts that reference or depict war. Yet, Georgina's shirt did not reference or depict war. Instead, the shirt promoted peace between two countries.
It was talking about the stop killing people.
Mr. Waldo Harper, you have been principal for 20 years. Have you ever updated the rules based on the challenges we face in today's society?
No, I haven't.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Okay, defense, any redirects? Yes,
Do you think that Georgina's actions put students and other people in harm's way?
Yes. She decided to wear all that stuff with Army, and people got really mad. Some people threatened to punch her and rip her shirt off. But if Georgina never wore anything, then nothing ever would have happened.
Okay, Mr. Mulvey, you can step down. Would you like to call your last witness? Yes, sure. I call all of our witnesses. Okay, Mr. McTwist, before you have a seat, we're going to get you to raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you are about to give us the full truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please have a seat. Please keep your voice up.
Can you please state your name and your relation to Georgina Hanshee?
I am the president of Fort George Middle School's board, and Georgina Hanshee is a student at Fort George Middle School.
What is your role in Fort George Middle School?
I am the president of Fort George Middle School's board.
Can you please state the clothing policy, please?
Students may not wear offensive ethnic marks, influence of death or violence, drugs, including alcohol and tobacco, sexual slurs, harassment, suicide, emotionally putting down students, or depict reference war.
Can students debate with each other without involving war?
A free and open debate by students on the war could not occur in our school without the safety and security of our students being threatened. That is why the board imposed a total restriction on a student's ability to express views about ongoing war efforts.
Have you received repeated reports of verbal sparring and threats among students discussing the merits of continued efforts of war or on terror?
I have received repeated reports of verbal sparring and threats among our students that have been precipitated by a discussion of the merits and of the continued efforts of the terror on war.
Do you think the problems were escalating and the board felt that action had to be taken before things got out of hand?
Yes, the problems were getting out of hand, and we felt that we had to take action and change things before they got out of hand.
Have students ever had a fight over the merits of war and the police have been called?
Yes, students have gotten into fistfights over the merits of war.
Has violence occurred during a school on the topic of war?
Yes, for example, last year at the Fort George Sloppy Joe Diner in the village of Fort George, students got into a fight. There was physical damage as well as property damage done to the diner. Police were called to the scene and an ambulance took one of the students to the hospital for treatment. This gives us the reason to prohibit the topic of war.
Have worrisome incidents at the school have forced the school board to adopt these restrictions on our students' free speech rights?
I have received repeated reports of verbal sparring and threats among students that have been almost always precipitated by discussion of merits of war and continued efforts on war terror.
No further questions.
Do you have any questions for this?
Yes, Your Honor. My co-counsel and I will be doing this class.
Okay.
You believe that free speech is a foundation of dimensional democracy? You believe?
Yes.
You believe that free expression of ideas is a foundation of our democracy?
Yes.
You understand that Supreme Court ruled that those rights continue school property.
Yes.
Despite the Supreme Court ruling, the school board passed regulations that greatly restrict the students' right to free speech and expression.
Yes.
You indicated that a free and open debate by students on the war could not occur in the school without the safety and the security of the students being threatened.
Yes.
In fact, though, the only act of violence leading up to the enactment of the regulations prohibiting students' free speech occurred off campus at a diner, correct?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, defense, any redirect? Okay, all right, so please step down. Thank you. Defense, you can show this is okay, so you rest. Okay. Would you like to give your closing statement?
So now that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury heard the defense, it is apparent that Georgina intentionally went to school, violating the dress code. Georgina knew that her wearing that text on her shirt would cause an uproar, especially because of where the school is located and the fact that it was during a Veterans Day parade. As Waldo Harper, the principal of Fort George Middle School, stated, Georgina was in violation of the dress code, not only because of her inappropriate shirt, but with her army distressed jeans. Waldo also stated that there has been other altercations because of the sensitive subject of war. This policy was necessary to avoid any future fights, arguments, or threats in our school community. Under the Tinker standard, a school must show that the violation caused or is reasonably forecast to cause a substantial disruption in the educational process. The school clearly stated those in the dress code. This policy isn't about personal taste, but it's about maintaining a focused learning atmosphere and preventing disruptions. The dress code is a tool to prepare students for professional settings, where inappropriate attire is not tolerated. Georgina caused students to be in harm's way because others felt offended by her shirt and threatened to hurt her. This could all be avoided if Georgina chose not to wear her shirt and attend school in a respectful manner. In her statement, Georgina states that her actions can be justified by the Barbara v. Dearborn case. She directly states, the court said that as long as the clothing with political message did not disrupt the school, a student can wear said clothing or armbands. But she clearly disrupted the school day and upset other students, causing people to act out of anger against her. Even the president of the school board, Mr. McTwist, agreed that Georgina was causing a scene and refused to change her shirt, even when he told her it might offend other students. She still went on with her day and passed out flyers, which can be seen as extremely disrespectful on a day of reflection and remembrance of loved ones. With all the evidence I stated, this clearly permits Georgina Hanshee's suspension.
Yes, Your Honor.
Careful.
Put yourself in the shoes of Georgina Hanshee, a student who just wanted to express her opinions using her rights. The First Amendment allows the freedom of expression and speech, but her school stopped her and went against her human rights by not allowing her to express her opinions in a peaceful manner. As you've heard, contrary to the First Amendment, the school district has enacted regulations that limit students' free speech. In fact, the Supreme Court has specifically ruled that the constitutional right to freedom of speech and continues at school. Furthermore, the standard that the Supreme Court set requires that school officials must be able to show that the speech or expression by the students would materially and substantially interfere with class, work, discipline, or the rights of other students. In Georgina's case, as you have heard, she didn't threaten with her prompt violence, nor did she take any action to disrupt class. She merely wore army fatigue pants and a shirt that read, "Stop killing innocent people for oil," and handed out flyers about a peace rally. The school district indicated that regulations were enacted because they were concerned about violence occurring at school, but the only evidence presented of any violence took place off campus. While her classmates disrupted class by threatening her,
making fun of her, and even ripping up her posters, the issue was handled quickly. It should be noted that while Georgina was suspended for 10 days, the kid that threatened her was only suspended for 2. Georgina's suspension was unjust and wrong. The school's dress code explicitly states that students may not wear clothing or have personal belongings with messages or symbols that are disrespectful, offensive, and or distracting, such as depicting or reference of war. As you've heard, Georgina's shirt said "Stop killing innocent people for oil." The shirt did not promote or reference war in any way. Instead, she wore the shirt to promote peace. A similar situation occurred before with the Tinker versus Des Moines case in 1969, where 3 students wore black armbands in protest of the Vietnam War. The Supreme Court decided that the school was taking away their right by trying to force them to remove the bands. We ask you to find in favor of Georgina, who was refused her human right of free speech and expression, and to overturn her suspension and allow her to return to her school and continue learning without suspension.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the time has arrived and you have to perform your final function in this case. But before you retire to discuss and decide on a verdict, it is my duty to instruct you as to the principles of law which will apply to the facts of this case. Counsel has, in their opening statements and closing statements, commented upon the evidence to assist you in your deliberations. Their comments are not evidence. The burden of proof is on the plaintiff in this case to prove a violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. To prove an allegation by a preponderance of the evidence, plaintiff must convince you that a violation of a constitutional right more likely than not did not occur. You must ask yourself as to each issue which side has the more convincing evidence. If the evidence on a particular issue is evenly or equally balanced, that issue has not been proven. An easy way to understand this is to picture a scale or a seesaw. If the weight on both sides is even, then plaintiff has not met the requirement to prove her case. However, if it tips a little more to the plaintiff's side than the other, the plaintiff wins and you should return a verdict for the plaintiff. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution protects freedom of speech. In the Tinker case, the Supreme Court made it clear that the First Amendment protects the free speech rights of students within the school setting. This means that school officials cannot create a content-based prohibition of speech unless they have evidence that the prohibition is necessary to avoid the material and substantial interference with schoolwork or discipline. The decision in Tinker clearly states that the First Amendment protects the free speech rights of students within the school setting. Your role is to determine whether the plaintiff has proven that the defendants violated her free speech First Amendment rights. You are to determine the facts from the testimony you heard from the witnesses. You will do this by judging which testimony can be believed and what probably happened. To help you in making this decision, I will explain some legal principles. You can believe all of what the witnesses said, a portion of it, or none of it. It's up to you. In other words, are you convinced by it and does it make sense? Under no circumstances should your deliberations be affected by any favoritism for a party or any prejudice against a party or your views about the war on terrorism. Bias, passion, and sympathy may not influence your decision. Decide this case on the facts and the law that I have given you. You must discuss this case among yourselves and listen to the opinions of your fellow jurors. However, in the end, each of you must decide the case for yourself. Your decision is important to both sides. Although your verdict need not be unanimous, you should try to agree on a verdict. So with that, you can head on in the room and start your deliberations.
Want to pass it.
Good room enough? So we going to start and go around? How do we?
I'm handing the jury verdict sheet, and I think we can start with the first question and then go from there. So if you guys, you're getting the jury form. This is your decision only, but you all should speak freely about what you think. So the first question is, the school board's policy prohibiting students from wearing any clothing with messages, symbols about the War on Terror or from disseminating any written material about the War on Terror, is it constitutional under Tinker v. Des Moines decision and the facts of this case?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.
Any discussion?
No.
No. Why? You just do?
Yeah, well,
We'll go on to questions. Oh, go ahead.
it's constitutional because like it could have caused violence and like there was, well, not really violence, but like it almost led to violence. So, and like the Constitution says if it leads to violence, then it like you aren't allowed to do it. So it is constitutional.
Anyone else have an opinion? Yes.
It is constitutional because if the school board says you can't do it and then you do it anyway and then it calls something, that's your fault for doing something that the school says you can't do. So it is constitutional.
I believe it's constitutional because adding on to what Juliana said, if the school board says you can't do something, you shouldn't do it, but she still did it.
Anyone else? All right, we'll move on to question 2. Was the school justified in prohibiting Ms. Hanshee from wearing the clothing and disseminating the flyers because under the Tinker decision, the clothing and conduct materially and substantially disrupted classwork and discipline in the school? Why don't we go around again, yes or no, and then we start off?
Yes.
No. 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 No.
No.
No. No. No. No. No.
And why do you guys think yes or no?
Any discussions?
It's kind of like, while it is like she maybe shouldn't have worn that, it's very harsh and like she kind of already did it, so telling her to take it off is like excessive, and then like punishing her for it because like it is her idea, and like, well, it did lead to violence, it also kind of isn't her fault, so like cut her some slack is pretty much what I guess I'm getting at, because like she didn't want to cause violence. I don't really know how it, but
I think the school was justified because Miss Hanshee was wearing clothing that I'm looking for the word that discriminated against other people.
Anyone else?
I think that Georgina should not have got suspended because it was her decision and it's the other students' faults that they made harm and violence out of that, and it was their opinions and Georgina's opinions on what she was to wear.
I think the school wasn't justified because I don't think the students shouldn't really cared about what she was wearing because it was her opinion and they didn't have to make a big deal about it.
Anyone else want to share thoughts? All right, we'll move on to number 3. Before we do, did any of the deliberations change anyone's opinion?
Yes. For question 2, I think yes.
You think yes, and why do you think yes?
I think yes because the school policy states that you're not allowed to wear anything relating to killing or war, and she wore something related to killing and war.
Anyone else change their opinion? All right, we'll move on to question number 3. Just so you guys know, and I'll explain this to them out there, in a normal jury proceeding, you guys would have to sit here and talk about it until you convinced either everybody to think yes or everybody to think no. But because we don't have much time today, we're not going to do that to you, okay? So the last, we're going to skip question 4 and 5. The last question, should Ms. Hanshee be allowed to return to school immediately? And should the school remove the suspension from her record?
Yes.
Let's go through, okay, good.
I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. 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 No. No. No.
Why?
Oh, you can go. You can go. I think yes, because if it's her opinion, the other people did not have to make a big deal about it. They could have just mind their own business. I think yes, because you should be allowed to express your feelings. I think no, because she went against the school's rules and that is not allowed.
I also think no because Miss Hanshee not only went against the school rules, but she also made a ruckus in class and made a mess of it.
Followed by what Ibram said. No. I think no because it was against the school dress code. Even though if she knew it was the dress code, she still wore that shirt.
I think no because she violated the school dress code and they specifically told the student that you can't wear anything that includes a killer or and she did it, so I think that's like her violating.
To add on to Victoria, at the first assembly on Veterans Day, they were warned not to wear anything with the war because of what happened at the diner, but still, she still wore the outfit she chose, and it's Georgina's fault that she caused ruckus in class, and the other kids have a right to say what they want. I feel like yes, because of her First Amendment rights. I'm sorry, can you go? Okay. I think yes, because while she did wear the shirt, her intentions weren't for it to cause a ruckus, and she wasn't the one who did it. Like, it was the other kids who were making a big deal about it and could have done it, like, talk to her after school or more peacefully. Kind of like what Jack said, it wasn't really her that made the disruption in class. It was really the students.
So I think no, hearing all the other things, because she shouldn't have, she shouldn't be returning to school because she didn't listen to, like, the school rules and wore stuff that she wasn't allowed to.
Anyone else? Did anyone change their opinions after hearing what everybody else had to say? Can we go through again one more time? My number counts off. Yes or no? Question number 3.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. No. No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
All right. And those have it 6-5. We do have enough time. Let's go number 4. Is Ms. Hanshee entitled to monetary damages? Yes or no?
No.
Money. Does she get money for what?
No.
No.
Should be awarded money for what happened to her, being suspended.
Like, should she, like, pay a fine?
Somebody
No,
gives-
should
they
the
give
school
her money.
Yeah, should the school give her money if, per se, they did, like...
No.
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 All right, unanimous. there's no right or wrong answer to your opinions. And I'll explain that out there so everybody knows that, but you clearly were listening well, so thank you. Here's what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back out and sit down. I'll read the verdict for number 1, since it was unanimous. For number 2 and 3, I'm gonna ask you to say yes or no. Go down the line, okay? And then number 4 is. Oh. All right.
Wait, are
Yes.
you supposed to remember what we said today?
If you can, if not, then you can just say what you feel out there, it's fine. No, just yes or no. That was really good.
Policy constitutional, but they still
Very well done. Yeah. Yeah. When I was juror number 1. Honest to you, you could go. You can just turn over to me. All right, so thank you all. You did an amazing job. I always like to take this time right now while we wait for the verdict. A lot of people were reading today, but this year, normally our fact pattern is 5-6 pages. This year it's 40 pages. And these kids digested the facts. Most of them were 3 or 4 pages long. And they are the ones that wrote the questions and the answers together from those facts. And I thought they did brilliantly. They pulled out. Thank you. They used their analytical skills to pull out what was right, what was good. They used their persuasive skills to highlight facts that were to their side. Some of them were challenged because when we first read through the facts, decided one way and we had to challenge them to serve on the other side. So you guys really did a great job. And I say this every year, but Holy Trinity School teaches our kids at a very young age to be good. The verdict on listened and knew all the facts. That was very impressive. Hand it over to Mr. McCusker.
I know we're ready for the from me. Mrs. Martin said it excellently. This is 10 years in the running now. 10 years, it's been hard to believe we've had the club. And each year is an interesting, and then the jury stepping in, 6th grade. I hope you signed a large pool here to pick from, and really to see them in there and talk to one another and take turns is an amazing thing to see. So I thank everyone who signed up for the club. I especially thank our moderators who year after year, who 10 years ago came up with the idea, and as parents have run this club, volunteered for our school and our students, and wouldn't happen without them. So I'm eternally grateful for them. We have a little gift for you. So thank you to Mrs. Martin, one of our original moderators, Mr. Pargola. Mr. Pargola, another original moderator, has been with us from the beginning. Mr. Keith Holloran has been with us from the beginning there. New to us this year, but in the school, Mr. Joe Ramagli coming on and helping out. Thank you, Mr. Ramagli. And special thanks to Judge Chronicle for opening up her courtroom and also helping the students through the years here too. So. And of course, thanks to Miss G, our teacher help Miss G for being here and helping out behind the scenes. And our other teammates, Tra for pictures. We thank Miss Tra for giving her time. Mrs. Paraglia, who was happy she stand there. She maybe not.
We ran through this yesterday and there were questions and answers. That we didn't hear yesterday that they added on. I see they were working on it, so thank you. So the jury was asked the following verdict form. Is the school board's policy, before I move on, sometimes people get a little rowdy about their sides. No more fighting about this case, 7th and 8th graders, and especially don't blame any 6th graders for their decision, okay? Is the school board's policy prohibiting students from wearing any clothing with messages, symbols about the war on terror, or from disseminating any written material about the war on terror unconstitutional under Tinker v. Des Moines decision and the facts of this case? The jury decided unanimously that it is constitutional. Second question. Was the school justified in prohibiting Ms. Hanshee from wearing the clothing and disseminating the flyers because under the Tinker decision, the clothing and conduct materially and substantially disrupted classwork and the discipline in the school? This was not a unanimous decision. We'll have the students go real quick and say if they voted yes or no to that question.
Yes. 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 No. 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 No.
So it was mixed on that. They all shared their opinions as to what. We actually had one student change their mind after hearing the opinions, but they all were really listening and really digested the information. The third question, should Ms. Hanshee be allowed to return to school immediately, and should the school remove the suspension from her record?
No. 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 Yes. 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 No.
So there you have it. Very split jury. We did all, the last question was, is she entitled to monetary damages? And they unanimously said no. They had great debate about, was it disruptive? Was she promoting peace? They did a really good job. I told them there's no right or wrong answer for a jury. I remember the first year we did this, Ms. Donahue was on one of our older teachers not older. She used to be here. She hasn't been here for years, but she was on the jury and actually emailed me that night like, oh my gosh, did we get it right? Did we do the right thing? There's no yes or no. It's up to the jury. The and present the facts that they think support their argument here until they answer all of the questions on TV. And it's true, you could be days where they just keep doing the same question over and over. But we won't. Without further ado, thank you, Kyle.
So that